Hello. Today we are talking about how we can apply EdTech tools in the classroom for our students. We're starting with note taking. Taking notes is a big part of higher level education, but it also applies to high school and middle school students. Um, Forms that you can take notes on the computer or on iPads or even cell phones, believe it or not, is Google Docs, OneNote. You can also use Google Keep or Word document. Now, these are all ways that you can access notes virtually from anywhere as long as you have the cloud space and it's stored in the cloud. This is a very big perk for students who have multiple devices and are going from one place to the next. These types of notes can be used. My example on here is if students are learning about the life cycle of a butterfly. They are thinking about the different stages of a butterfly. So, what the teacher can do is give them a document, kind of similar to this one, where there's a table where the students fill out parts of the life cycle, vocabulary words, and any other types of notes they want to add to it. This is a structured format, which helps a lot of students who struggle with finding their way of taking notes. Moving forward, we have how we can use web search in the classroom. Web search is a tricky topic for younger students because there's lots of things out there that just are not appropriate for students. So, limiting their access to things like YouTube Kids, or another one that I found is Safe Search Kids. This is something for students of all ages, but you specifically want this in schools because students won't be able to find inappropriate content. And it also gives them an idea of how they can be a digital citizen. Applying topics and trends in the classroom using EdTech can be, first of all, allowing access for all students to use technology in the classroom. Um, Students commonly are using Kahoot in the classroom. And from my experience, upper elementary students, middle school students, and high school students are tired of Kahoot. Teachers, listen, we want to move on from Kahoot. They like the format, but they're over it. Let's try something new like Pear Deck. If you haven't used Pear Deck, it's very similar to Kahoot, but it's built into your presentation, something that I strongly recommend and has great feedback from students. Students can interact onto the slides that you are presenting and in different forms. So, not just answering the 4 questions that Kahoot offers. There's options for them to range their understanding of the topic. There's options for them to draw a response, to type a response, and to respond to other people's responses. It's very interactive for the teacher and for the students. Next, we're talking about positive talk for students to practice. My example on here is using social media. Students love it, so why don't we get on board too, right? So what I have is students in an art class are showcasing their final project or their art project on Twitter. Their peers' task is to review other students' work. In doing this, we are continuing practicing what we learned in elementary school, which is two glows, one grow. We're constructively criticizing other people's work by also applying words and phrases that we would use in class. And lastly is instructional practice. How can teachers apply synthesization in the classroom using EdTech tools? Well, simply put, we have so many tools that we're using to enhance the students' education. From K through 12, we're using apps, we're using websites, we're using videos. All of these is synthesizing what's going on, what we're teaching from the lesson, and how students are practicing that content. That concludes my ideas on applying EdTech in the classroom. Thanks for listening.